All right. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Weekend Rental. This time we're looking at Wu-Tang Shaolin Style on the PlayStation 1. It's a fighting game, just throwing some hands together, up to 4 players, and was published by Activision and I think developed by Paradox Entertainment. We're going to go over to verdicts, and first this week we're going to have MegaMan-Man tell us what they thought of
Wu-Tang. thanks, Filter. This is, I had heard about this game. It's like a game from childhood lore. Really, it's had a PS1 growing up. I was too busy playing Dino Crisis and Resident Evil. Never made time for Wu-Tang until today, over 20 years later, and I couldn't have had a better time with it, honestly. It's a really smooth game, really well executed. Sound was crisp as hell. I can tell that Wu-Tang people, when they were trying to make a game, they said, we're not gonna put this shit on 64 because the music sucks. We need some good quality CD quality music. We're gonna do it on PlayStation 1. Good fighting mechanics, as good as it gets for PS1 without DualShock. And yeah, I had a good time with all the fatalities. Executions were, most of them, well stylized. Interesting cast of characters. Wu-Tang versus any Chinese sounding name they could come up with for villains. But yeah, no, it was a good ass time. Momo, what you think about this game?
Yo, I actually have played this game before when I was like way younger, and I remember really liking it back then. And yeah, sorry I didn't get to play more of it, but I kind of feel like they wanted to make this a serious fighting game. All the characters seemed pretty different, and the system itself wasn't too bad. I mean, sidestepping and button to crouch is a little weird, but and the four people in one match also seemed kind of weird and out of the question. And also using a gamepad, I noticed that some of the inputs were kind of impractical, so I would suggest playing this on a stick or something. But in general, the Wu-Tang Clan has always had very appealing aesthetics, taking from, the martial arts movies. And this game definitely does that, but with like a distinct, grimy New York kind of vibe. So yeah, I will recommend this game. What did you think, Filter?
Yeah, I would totally agree. Definitely encapsulates what Wu-Tang is about in a video game, and brings a lot of like really impressively thought out detail and character to the actual characters you're playing as, and of course the story mode, which we checked out a little bit of. There's a lot here. It's super technically impressive for a PS1 game. It mostly plays really well, but it's just lacking a little bit of smoothness going between certain attacks. Like the combos aren't necessarily natural to pull off. You do kind of just got to look at the lists and in training mode and figure them out. And then I guess the idea is you show up, play with your friends, and show off all the sick things you can pull off. Of course, capped off with those sick fatalities. Really interesting roster, has plenty to pick from and check out. And, you could spend a good couple of weeks just trying to master everybody, and I think it provides what you would want out of it. So I'd give it a 3.75, almost a 4. If you're a fan of Wu-Tang, obviously it's worth checking out. But I'm curious, NeoSense, what did you think of this game?
Into the 36 Chambers, the Wu. I absolutely love this game. This gets a 5 out of 5 for me. Not because it's the greatest fighting game I've ever played, or that it does everything, but more so the Wu-Tang Shaolin Style does what it can with what it has very well. Fatalities, seamlessly playing without a fussy button press, and just pretty much every character seemed genuinely charming and fleshed out, and not just like reskins. The music's great. It's a full package. Everything's here. Everything you could want is here. I will say the game is a lot more fun control-wise with turbo mode switched on. It's faster, it hits harder, and it feels less sluggish. The story mode, I might have to go ahead and go through the story mode. I've piqued my interest. Otherwise, I mean, what's not to love? The Wu-Tang are heavy with lore, and there's quality at every turn. I want to see what you thought, though, Pants Problem.
Yeah, I mean, I'll put it like, you know, throwing a little score on here of a 5. I think I had to put that on there. I like it. It's not that it's like the best thing I've ever played, but putting it on in like the lens of the time, and especially looking at it now, it's a very weird, well put together package. I mean, it's got style and things in it that shouldn't even be there. They like went out of their way to do just weird shit in it. Like there's a credit screen that's just, I mean, it's super well done. It's produced. It doesn't make sense, but it's neat. And there are touches throughout this entire game that are really cool. It doesn't really play that badly either, in my opinion, for what it is. For like a weird arena fighter in the late 90s, plays pretty well. I mean, it's just the entire thing is a delight. It's fun. I mean, it's technically impressive. It's a 4-player fighting game from 1999 on the PlayStation 1, and it works somehow. The fatalities are even pretty creative as well. I mean, you know, some of the stuff in Mortal Kombat at the time, just boring exploding bodies. No one was really thinking about it, and they really went above and beyond with it. I don't know, cool as shit. Like this game quite a bit.
Sick.
Sick, yeah, check it out. Wu-Tang Shaolin Style on PS1.